Hey everyone, it's Lance with Ride Lance. Today is just a fun day ride. No bike reviews, but we'll probably talk about something that's been on my mind. But we're just kind of doing some exploring. Today I'm out in a place, it's kind of near home, but I haven't ridden in this area in quite a few years. So I don't remember exactly where like this dirt road goes. But we're gonna see, we got a couple ponds over here on the right side. And got no GoPro today. Got all set up, came riding out to the place I was gonna ride, went to go turn the GoPro on and went, forgot the GoPro at home. Fortunately, I had put the stuff up for my 360 and I had the 360 camera in my pocket. So this is gonna be an interesting video today because it's all gonna be done on the 360, Insta360 X5. So I'm going to still try and get a few different views. Look at that tree out there. Good thing about 360 is I can maneuver the camera in any direction without moving the camera. Look at that tree out there. It looks like an old oak tree just on a little island. It's pretty cool. So right now we got the camera set up in front of the bike, looking at me. In a little while, I'll pull that off and give you whatever other views I can come up with. But anyways, just wanted to come out for a fun ride. Just been doing a lot of work with e-bikes lately and e-bike companies. And today, this is pretty cool. Look at that little, let's see if I can get a little closer view of that. I think they put some type of dye in the water too to make it look like that kind of aqueish blue-green. Look at the little waterfall there. We got a few ponds that just kind of step down as they go. But that's a good sign that we got water running. It's middle of the summer and we still have water coming down from the mountains. But yeah, just been doing a lot of work with e-bike companies lately. And haven't really had that time to get out and just do fun rides for myself and do, kind of videos I like to do. Not saying that I don't like doing review videos, but sometimes you just got to get out and just do it for yourself. Ride the way you want. Ride the bike you want. Speaking of bikes, today I'm on the Nomad 2X. Just doing a kind of a cross between cruising, a little off-roading. Yeah, like over here. Let's see where this little trail goes. One of the things I wanted to talk about was the push that some of these companies are doing into the 72 volt range. Is it volt or is it power? I don't know, but it just seems, to me, it seems to be getting to be too much. I know there's some people that just love the speed, but when does it cross that line of a e-bike becoming an e-motorcycle? They put pedals on it, does 40, 50, now almost 60 miles an hour. Is that really an e-bike or is it an e-motorcycle? Now, my personal thought is that this is going to have dire consequences on the e-bike community. These fast bikes are going to create a lot of regulation. And they're just going to lump all e-bikes together. They're not going to care if it only does 10 miles an hour or 20 miles an hour or 28, 40, 50, or 60. I just think it's hate to say it, but I think it's bad news for the normal e-bike consumer. The one who just wants a bike to ride around, doesn't really care about the top speed of their bike, but just wants something to get out and pedal and have it give them a little help. The other thing I was thinking about, because I started thinking about it deeper, is like, are these 72 volt systems, is the bike itself being designed to handle that kind of stress? I don't know. At some point, it's like maybe you should just buy a small motorcycle, something that has been designed to take those stresses of that speed. Because I don't hear many people talking about it, about these bikes. Are they rated for that kind of stress? Are the wheels, are the tires rated for that kind of stress? The frame, the suspension, the chain, the brakes. That's a big concern right there. Are the brakes designed for that kind of speed? And these bikes are heavy. So are they designed for that kind of a heavy of a bike and that speed of a bike? That's something to really think about. And maybe we should dig into that a little deeper to see if these bikes are actually being designed for that kind of use. Let's see, can I get across here? Yeah, I can. Cars, let's go. I just don't know. And I would hate for it to take somebody getting seriously hurt because of a frame snapping in half, or wheels coming apart, or a chain breaking and locking up and making people crash. Is it going to take somebody to die? Is it going to take somebody to get seriously hurt for some of these companies to go, And what's worse is the government's going to come in and they're going to go, it's time. And they're going to put limits on things. Let's change the view of the camera. Hold on. Let's see if I can do this. One-handed riding on my throttle side. Ooh, that's kind of pretty. Look at that. I'll stop waving things around. Yeah, this looks nice. Maybe I'll ride down there a little later. Maybe on my way back. Because I really don't remember how far this goes down that way. But where was I? 72 volt systems. Yeah, I just don't know. I mean, the bikes like the Surons and those have been designed to take those stresses. But those are like e-motorcycles. They're not street legal. No matter what some people think, those are dirt bikes. And even on those, people got to remember that those are running knobby tires. You go into a turn on a street just a little too sharp, and that thing's just going to wash out beneath you. And I'm an old motocrosser, and I know that by experience. Going a little too fast on a street with knobby tires, there's just not a whole lot of traction there when you go into a turn. So I don't know. You let me know. Are things getting a little too ridiculous with speed for e-bikes, ones you're supposed to be pedaling? I don't know. I'm not trying to bash them because they do look like great bikes, but I don't know. Now, I did turn one down last week from a company, Tudio, I think that's how you pronounce it. This is like a dual motor 5,000 watt system. I'm just like, I just don't think I want to get into stuff like that because personally I'm not going to be using that type of speed. Now I understand some people want it because they use it as a commuter. Let me switch this side. And they feel safer, when they're just going a little faster trying to keep up with traffic. Maybe not necessarily as fast as cars going, but I can feel that. I understand that. I've done that. When I get out on the street, I do want to be going a little faster. I don't want to feel like the slow person who's just becoming a target for cars on the street. But you tell me, if you got one of these 72 volt systems, would you be riding it like a banshee all the time? Or is it just kind of like a novelty? Say, I got a bike that can go 50 miles an hour. You know, 2 batteries. Thing weighs probably 130, 140, 150 pounds. And again, you know, if you're constantly riding at speeds, how far do you think you're going to get with even 2 batteries? Now again, I'm not bashing them. I know they're trying to fill a need. I just hope they're actually designing them to take all those stresses. But you know what? Let's get off this topic. I'm not going to rant on it all the time. But it's just something I've been thinking about, something I do have concerns about, something I think is going to ultimately have a hand in changing the e-bike community. This ought to be an interesting view. Oh, I don't have it attached to me, but it's attached to my seat post, sticking straight up, right in front of my stomach. So we'll try this for a while. Hopefully it's not too bouncy. I'll give you a view of this way. But what else has been going on? Well, it's been a very mild summer. We've only gotten like maybe 3 or 4 days that have gotten into the low 90s. And it's almost the end of July. So either we're going to get hammered in August, or we're just going to have a mellow summer. I'm hoping for a mellow summer, because it's still warm enough to go out, you know, to the pool and do the nice warm summer things. Let's do a little throttle here. But yeah, has that been that for your case where you live, or has it just been stifling hot, humid, or really dry? One thing we haven't had yet either is fires, so I'm glad about that. But still early in the season, but let's hope there is none. Let's see, where am I? Where do I go from here? That's closed. Well, why don't we ride down the street here for a little while before we turn around and come back? So yeah, it's just been lately been doing bike reviews, working with some companies, get, you know, pictures taken, some videos. You know, videos not for my channel, but for the companies. But yeah, I just wanted to get out today and just, you know, ride on my terms, which is always the best kind of riding. Yeah, I think I'm going to turn around here. I don't see anything too exciting down this way. Let's go back the other way and see if we can do some more exploring. It's a nice little ball field. Little league. Got the banners up and stuff, making the players feel special when they take that field. So I was down in Southern California last week, down in Oceanside, San Marcos, Encinitas, Escondido area. That was my old stomping ground. That's where we lived before we decided to move up to the Bay Area. And you know what the first thing I did when I got back down there? Told my wife, why'd we move? Well, I know why we moved, but It's just so much more nicer down there. But it is, you know, still California, still dealing with the same type of stuff. You know, high taxes, high gas, high food prices. Maybe someday it will get better. But I am still seriously, you know, wanting to move out of this state just for a better life, basically. Make my dollar go a lot longer somewhere else. But I know a lot of states now, like they're hating Californians. And I can see why. Not necessarily the, you know, the bringing their beliefs with them, but it's kind of a catch-22 if you live in California, you own a house and you sell it. Because the house prices here are so high, when you sell, you make a pretty good profit. And I can see where, you know, you're bringing that money to another state that is where things are, I can say, normal, you know. You don't go buy here, you know, a small house is well over $1 million. You go somewhere else and you get a bigger house for like a quarter or half that price. And people bring that money in, and they just bring cash and they throw it around just to get a house, which increases, you know, housing prices across the board. So I can see why people are a little upset about that. But you know, for me, I don't need a big house. Something easy to maintain, easy to take care of. But I sure would like to live in a place where it's clean, streets are clean, the roads are nice, there's no graffiti and trash everywhere. Yeah, I know. Just complaining about the place I live, I guess. But it seems like, you know, no matter what you try and do to improve things, there's always somebody there that's going to slap it down and say, nope. We want it this way. We want to live in garbage. This state is an extremely beautiful state, though. I mean, where else can you get a desert? Alpine mountains, alpine lakes, the beach, skiing, redwoods. You get mild climates. It is hard to beat. And it's going to take a lot of time to straighten out the things that have gone wrong with this state. But enough state bashing. But one other thing, you know, we went to Tennessee a few months back, visit my sister, and then we went to Nashville for a few days. And I have to admit, you know, going there was it was eye-opening. People were nice. People said hi. People stopped and talked to you. There was no trash on the roads. There was no graffiti on the roads. Pull into a gas station, and it was literally half the price of what it is here. Let's go over here. So yeah, when you see that, you just tell yourself, why? Why am I still here? Yeah, never been down here. This is pretty darn nice. Yeah, look at this little place we just found. See the kind of things you find when you just go exploring, even around your own area? Look at this. This would be a nice place for a picnic. I mean, bring a couple of little chairs, put them under these trees here, just sit by the water. Look at this. Some beautiful water too. Hope that green, it's not an algae green. I think it's something they put in the water. Look at that, just really beautiful and in your own neighborhood. Just really nice. Things e-bikes will help you go discover and find, right? All right, well, I think it is time to head back. Katrina's probably wondering where I am. So let's get this put back together. All right, let's see if we can get on out of here without falling over. Get her going. It's yeah, I love the step through, makes it so easy. Let's get going. Up the hill. Whoop. All right, yeah, beautiful little place. And we got a few more ponds up here. I think the same ones we saw on the way up. Maybe we can explore a little more, I guess. Got to go back across the street, but I think maybe this time we will go under the bridge. Yeah, there's a road there. Yeah. A little dark, can't see. Yeah, a little bumpy, but not too bad. Go up this hill, I shouldn't have any problem. Yeah, like this 1400 watt system here. Not built for speed, built for hill climbing and traveling to places where there's no trails. All right. Yep, here's those other ponds. Back again. See if we can find some other side trails to take. Yeah, I'm gonna have to bring Katrina down here. We're gonna have to Yogi Bear it and pack up a picnic basket, boo boo. Bring her out here and have a little picnic there. It'll be fun. Get out of the house for a little while. Get her out of the house for a little while. I know she's been doing a lot of work. She's been working hard lately. That's why you haven't seen her and me on very many rides together. Because the time the weekend comes, she's just pooped out from working hard all week. Yeah, look at that. That's a beautiful view. I wonder if I can work my way down here towards the shore. Adventure biking. Exactly what this Nomad 2X was built for. Yeah, that's beautiful. Probably a better view here. See it? Kind of all the stuff growing on the water going down to the lower pond. Is this little pathway right here to the right? Well, I guess we're going to see. I think this might be the little trail I came in on. Anyways, we'll go ahead and end the video here. So you guys have a great day, great ride, great week, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye. Sorry about the view. Didn't have my GoPro with me today.